Nestled amidst the serene landscapes of Angamaly in Kerala, Nisarga Art Hub stands as a testament to the fusion of art, nature, and sustainable architecture. Overlooking a vast expanse of paddy fields, this unconventional community residency is not just a house, but a space where musicians and artists come together to create magic. Now, let's delve into the soul of Nisarga Art Hub as we sit down for an intimate conversation with the visionary minds behind this artistic haven.
Dear viewers, today we have with us Vishnudev and Lakshmi, who owns this place and who does marvelous job, trying to promote and share their views about music in culture, and they are very naturistic people. And let's welcome them on board to have this conversation. Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And we would like to start off with, how did you find this place and what made you come up with such a project which is so beautiful?
Okay. So we actually were living in Chennai, and around COVID, we thought we would come here to Kerala because Vishnu's parents live here and Vishnu is basically from here.
Okay.
Our intention was just to spend some time with family, but COVID...
We had a newborn baby.
Yeah.
I see.
Our second child was only 6 months old, and we wanted to have the space for the kids to run around. So Chennai didn't seem perfect. So we came here, but COVID, the lockdown kept getting extended and concerts were not happening. And we had a lot of free time, basically.
Right.
So we thought, why not build a house? Because this was something that was there at the back of our minds, but we didn't think we would do it this early on. But both of us, I think, commonly had this dream of building a mud house. And there are very few architects who actually are into sustainable architecture or eco-friendly building. And when we did some research, the one person whose work really stood out for us was Vinu Daniel from Wallmakers. And we approached him, we emailed him, he called us back, and he came to the site, and the site sort of inspired him, and he said he would take it on. And
the fact that we are musicians gave him extra interest because he's also into, he's basically more of an artist than an architect.
I see.
As you can see from this building itself. It's
Yeah.
a piece of art.
Absolutely stunning.
If you look anywhere, you find some artistic elements. So that is what actually inspired us to, work with him. That is what made us choose him as an architect, because we were blown away by the artistic elements.
Yeah.
Out of the box thinking. He's extremely creative.
And what he does is he factors into his buildings what the client is or who they are, what they do, and what they will be doing with the building that he constructs for them. So the fact that we were musicians inspired him to think about how the space can be used for art, how can art flourish in a space that's usually thought of only as a place to live.
I see.
But then when it's an artist's house, the artist only truly lives in a house when art can actually happen dynamically. So
that connect was genuine, I guess. Yeah.
absolutely, yes.
And somewhere down the line, the construction took a long time. It was very stressful.
Okay.
So, probably halfway through the construction, we got an idea about how it is shaping up. Then that is when we were thinking, why not do something more, use it as something more than a house.
Yeah.
For a better cause. That is when the idea of an art hub originated in our minds.
Wonderful. That's amazing. So, can you tell us about yourselves and your journey in creating Nisarga Art Hub? What inspired you to start a community residency focused on art and culture, concept and design? Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Vishnu said, I think initially when this house was being constructed, we only had in mind probably a space where our students could come and learn and, for us to do some classes here. But as we thought more about it, we realized that there is a lack of a community of artists, a community for artists where people can come, like-minded people who love art can come and listen together or learn together and talk about art together, discuss ideas.
So especially not in a formal setting.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's a very informal setting where people will be encouraged to, or they feel like sharing their ideas.
Themselves. Yeah. I know this ambience itself talks a lot.
People coming here, right, they would just start singing.
Yeah.
You don't have to ask them.
Yeah, the feel that you gave for this construction itself, it's like, the artist comes in, surely would want to give it a try to perform, because the ambience speaks out for itself. See?
Yes, it's definitely when there's nature all around you, it's a huge inspiration for not just music, any art form, I think. And the fact that, there is no judgment where no art is discriminated against or no idea is discouraged, I think helps people to think more deeply about certain things. And when ideas are bounced off of each other, I think something beautiful comes about all the time, where we keep seeing, we've only done 3 or 4 events here, but it's all been very dynamic, very natural, very organic, but the artist has always felt at ease to present their best. And
they tend to experiment too.
yeah,
Because this is a non-judgmental space.
Understood. So there's no compulsion of being sort of criteria.
now that we live in a very online world and there is a false sense of community around, I think people miss the human touch. And when there is a physical presence of artists around you, it's a whole other atmosphere. And there's so much happening. There's a lot of energy. And I think that energy also inspires people to, I think, be alive at the moment. So that's what we experienced when we had our first retreat, where for 3 days we had people from so many states across India. Even a couple of people even came from abroad. They stayed with us here for 3 days. We only offered a simple sleeping arrangement, but everybody was okay with
One
that.
gentleman came from the UK.
Yes, a 78-year-old Englishman, and he was. He said it was sort of life-changing for him because he was going through certain things, and to be in the presence of a lot of music sort of gave him the needed comfort. That's what he said. So I think different people took different experiences away with them, but collectively I think people felt that sense of being with family and being, we created lasting friendships and relationships through these experiences.
So everyone, those who've walked in here, surely will carry a bit of
I
this
think
place.
so.
That's how we can put it.
Surely the impact would be long-lasting.
Yeah.
Wonderful, yeah. So how does the design of Nisarga Art Hub, with its traditional Kerala roofs and innovative features like skylights and an open air amphitheater, reflect your vision for the space?
Oh, that's an interesting question. So I think the openness, where there's a lot of light and air and basically being almost close to nature, living with nature, I think only complements our vision, because like a few times you will see birds coming into the house because they don't know whether this is the outdoors or indoors.
Amazing. Truly.
Sitting inside this living room and looking eastwards, you feel that the living room is naturally extending to the end of the paddy field.
Whoa,
Yeah.
That's
So I
great.
think
I can
what-
see it.
Where is your room kind of? You kind of in a to some extent you feel that
You're on top of the world.
Correct.
Awesome.
Exactly. And at top of the world, literally here, because the outdoor amphitheater enables people to climb up to the topmost point of the roof and to listen to or watch art happening in front of them. And I
under
think,
moonlight.
yeah, and
Stunning.
yeah, it is. It really is. And even we didn't know that it would be such a fantastic atmosphere to experience art in. So I think it all just happened organically. We didn't really plan much of this.
Okay.
But what is happening is that I think the space and the art complements each other all the time.
Okay, wonderful. So this is the out view of Nisarga. Now, can you explain the significance of the shutter debris wall technique used in the construction? How does it contribute to the sustainability of the project?
So obviously I'm not an architect, but
Layman's saying,
in layman's
what you say.
it is a technique which involves construction waste.
Okay.
So it's basically the main component is soil procured from the nearby, close proximity.
Okay.
So we have used the red soil from the site itself, and some we have sourced from the neighboring plot.
Okay.
So so it involves a mixture of fine and coarse soil, and with a little bit of cement and aggregate and construction waste. So that is where the concept of sustainability is introduced. Basically, when the waste becomes useful. This is a patented technique. Vinu Daniel himself has got the patent for this.
Okay.
So he has used this technique in some of his houses.
I see. Okay. So he's the only one who's supposed to use this design or the technique.
Or basically whoever takes permission.
Take permission from him. Obviously, yes. That's nice.
Yeah, he uses a lot of other waste materials also. Not in this house, but he uses tires. He uses
Toys.
Toys.
I think
Amazing. Yeah.
he recently is almost finishing. It's called Toy Story. And they've used these discarded plastic toys in the construction.
Wonderful. Yeah. That's something new, I guess.
yeah.
So what type of events and activities do you host at the hub? And how do they contribute to the local art and culture scene?
That's a great question. We want this to be an inclusive space where we bring different art forms every time. For now, we're very new. We're just taking baby steps into this, but we've had 3 events. And what happens with all our events, we have 2 parts to the event, where one is the listening experience. We call it Nila Nadam because Nila means moon, and this happens under moonlight and on a full moon day. So that's a constant.
That's basically an entertainment plus more, maybe a little bit deeper experience, maybe spiritual, because it's not just entertainment.
Okay.
The experience is usually deep. It stays with you for some time. So
I see.
what happens.
The artists perform on a stage that is set on top of the water, and the audience is on the roof, and it's under moonlight, and there's nature all around. So it's a very, very moving experience for the listeners as well as the artists. And that happens along with, and the second part to the every month event is called Marga, where there is a learning component, but usually by the same artist who performs. We either have a workshop or a master class or a discussion or a communicative session where the art that is being performed is also being discussed or taught.
Okay, so it's explained in a way to understand what type of art you're
Exactly.
doing.
And
Okay.
it can even be a practice session where students of music can practice with the performer. So that kind of experience, I don't think you can get much. Also, listeners of art form always, they wonder what it is that goes into the journey of an artist. And that, to experience that in a very intimate setting is actually lovely. And I think we've had music students from across Kerala and even outside of the state, and they've come here and they've actually interacted with these artists, and it's definitely contributed to their learning journey as well. And because there is a listening component and a learning component, I think they really go well with each other. And we hope to bring in, for now we've had one Drupad, which is a Hindustani classical concert plus workshop. The second one was a Carnatic-based, rhythm-based workshop and a concert also. And the third was a moonlight piano solo. And the artist also taught the students about music production. So we've had varied experiences, and we hope to bring in more such different experiences to
Diverse,
diverse
free of any barriers.
Yeah, nice. That is amazing. So you said this is the area where they perform probably during a full moon night, or and then they sit on top here. As you can see, the screen. The seats are set in such a way that you can sit and listen to the performer. So you actually cover this entire pool.
Not
I would say.
pool. The middle part of the pool will be covered by a stage, and we dismantle the stage after the concert's over. But on either side of the artist, you can still see the water.
Wonderful. So you have a clear interaction with the performer. Okay, that's amazing. So how does Nisarga Art Hub support local artists and musicians?
Okay. Initially, we want to bring in art forms that are not very local to this area, mainly because there are some art forms that people here don't even know about, or there's very little exposure to such art forms.
For example.
For example, the Drupad art form that we did in the first event of ours, that was in the month of October. Hindustani classical music, is itself not very local, but the more popular version of that is the Khayal art form, which is reasonably more popular. But the Drupad art form, which is even more ancient,
One of the most ancient
art forms of India. It's not very well known to people here at all. And we thought by bringing such an artist here and bringing this art form to Kerala, people here would get more knowledge and more exposure to this art form. And initially, that is what we're trying to do here. But we are completely open to local artists and local art forms also being presented here, because at the end of the day, all we want to do is to support art and artists in any form. They can be local or international or whatever. But at the end of the day, anybody who's really looking for a platform for with a 2x course, sorry, I'll say that again. Anybody who is interested to have a platform for their art to be heard or seen are more than welcome to perform there.
And we are also planning to support indigenous, folk, tribal.
I see. Okay.
To include everything.
Okay, that's wonderful. So if you're open to anything and everything, because as long as it's something to do with art, What were some of the challenges you faced in realizing this project? Are there any achievements or moments since the hub's inception that you are particularly proud of?
Yes, like I said, we're still very new at this, so I don't know if we can call them achievements or anything, but there is definitely moments that have been extremely close to our hearts, and moments that we'll carry with us for a lifetime, because I think I was saying earlier how we had a Drupad workshop, and that was more like a retreat, where I think the biggest surprise for us was how many people actually wanted to come and be part of this. Initially, we were thinking this is such a small place and a place that nobody's heard of. Who's going to come to such a place and stay for 3 days, trusting us? But we had people from different states across India. We had 2 people from abroad, a gentleman from the UK, like we said earlier. And they all came, stayed here and we sort of felt like a family, and we still talk to them every now and then. So we've formed these lasting friendships with these people. And I think moments where no classes were happening, no concert was happening, but one person would just start singing randomly, then another person would join with the guitar, and another person would start rapping, and we had
a mixed culture.
Absolutely. And this organic jamming session kept happening, and there was music throughout those 3 days in this house. And these moments, and the first concert that we did here was again Drupad, and it was supposed to rain that day, so we were very nervous about it. But for some divine reason, it rained even 5 kilometers away from here. But for just that 1.5 hours that the concert was happening, there was not a drop of rain.
A true blessing.
It was absolutely.
It felt magical.
Exactly. Certain scenes, like it happens in movies also when they shoot, they capture a moment which was so uncertain
Yes.
that, they feel blessed when they have that situation. So,
Absolutely, because
same thing, yeah.
he took the stage and the moon just came out, clear skies.
Okay.
It was unbelievable because we were so nervous. We even thought of moving the concert indoors because it was definitely
yeah.
looking like rain. But the skies suddenly cleared up and the moon shone bright and shiny, and it really felt like magic. And I think many people, including me, had tears in our eyes because it just...
You could capture that moment in your heart, yeah.
And one gentleman texted, he came to attend this event, and one gentleman, he texted me saying that he had one of the toughest days in his life. But then at the end of this concert, after this concert, he felt he was smiling. So that was something that touched us more.
Great. So you're bringing smiles to broken hearts.
Yeah, what felt really, we felt that we were doing something meaningful.
And it's not just us. It felt more like the intent was there in us, and it
was happening, organically happening.
We say that the universe conspires to make things happen if you really wanted to. So it really felt like that because it was not us bringing smiles to broken hearts per se, but we're happy we could facilitate something like that because it really felt like it was happening. There was
one more instance is of that rapper who came.
Yes.
He had a
we had a hip hop artist from Hyderabad, and he told us that for a year and a half he wasn't able to write anything. He was having a block, an artistic block, and he just took part in this retreat because he felt like he wanted to be with fellow musicians. He had no classical music background.
He was hearing the word Dhruvat for the first time.
Yeah.
He didn't have any clue what to expect out of this. But then he came because we wanted some... he knew that this was going to be different.
Okay.
Yes, and he came here, and after 3 days of being with everybody, he actually wrote his first song in 1.5.
Amazing. So you released his thoughts and,
Not us,
That-
but
well, but still, yeah.
And
you took
coming to
English.
challenges, we have plenty.
Okay.
Of course, during the construction phase, we had a lot of challenges because this architecture or art is is one of a kind, right? There is no template for this,
Okay.
to model,
to refer or
to refer to, right? So everything had, some learnings, positive, negative. Sometimes there were some reworks. So the whole process, construction was extremely long and
expensive.
time consuming, and also a little bit expensive because it's very labor intensive.
Okay. I understand this area itself, moving around things and all.
Yeah, and after the construction, now one major challenge is it is high maintenance house. It is not like a normal house where you can easily clean and all that.
I see.
We have
Okay.
our challenges when it comes to cleaning and keeping it tidy and all that.
I see. Okay.
And coming to the challenges of the art or the art hub that we're trying to promote here, it's funding basically because we're trying to run this on a purely non-profit basis. All we want to do is to break even because there are quite a lot of costs involved. We have the artist remuneration, their travel, accommodation, food for all the participants. We have the sound, the amplification. We take video documentation of the whole thing. So
Of course, we charge the participants, but then because there is only limited space here, we cannot have more than 40
Plus, yeah.
40 attendees. So we can source only something from the ticket revenue.
Understood, yeah.
for now, the reason we're continuing this is purely because we believe in the cause, and we have a few friends who believe in the cause, and they are generously helping us, supporting us. But eventually, down the line, to keep this going, we might require some funding, some donors, and
Patrons, basically.
patrons.
Yeah.
So for all the art events happening at Nisarga, we've been collaborating with the World Music Festival Foundation.
Okay.
They're also into thinking in the similar lines.
They would love to bring in globally popular art forms to India, and
They're also non-profit. So we've been collaborating. So and similarly, we have individuals who want to contribute to the cause, basically.
Okay, that's one.
Believe in the cause. That is what has been happening now. But then about to keep it going, we need help from
Yeah, different sources.
and maybe foundation.
Yeah. What message would you like to share with our readers and potential visitors to the hub?
So sometimes we get a lot of inquiries in our Insta handle asking the same question: how do we visit? And sometimes we get some visitors. We get some random calls saying that they've already reached somewhere nearby and they're not able to locate.
Okay.
Coming unannounced. So since this is a residence, we would like potential visitors to inform us upfront or get an appointment, because we have our family, we have our other
Yes,
things
I know
going
you're
on.
Yeah.
So it's not always easy to host people. So what we do is we usually try to limit the visits to probably 1 or 2 per day. But we get tons of inquiries. So the only thing we want to make sure is those who want to come here can write to us at nisarga.arthub@gmail.com, or you can follow us on Instagram. Our Insta handle is nisarga.arthub. Please write a message to us before coming and get a prior appointment. We would like to meet you, but please inform us beforehand.
I think we're generally quite open to people visiting us, because we also get to interact with so many different people. In fact, we have some musicians coming and visiting us, and there's a lot of singing happening and music happening, which is great. But we tend to spend a lot of time when people come and visit us, because obviously we are also interested to talk to them. We are also interested to show them the house.
But you need that genuine time, what do you call the real time to sit and chat and understand?
Correct. And we eventually might have to space it out a little bit. Maybe make it once a week or once in 2 weeks, and have a few, club a few visits together. So it's easier on us and it's not overwhelming. We also have events. People are more than welcome to be a part of these events, and we're always putting up details on our page.
And we are people who travel a lot, so sometimes we are not in town. So
Okay, understood. So that also is a problem. Yeah, understood. So how can individuals get involved or support Nisarga Art Hub? Like you said, you did mention that you would prefer some support or kind of things like that. So which is very much essential for these days, especially in a location like this. So I would like you to share your point of view. How can they get in communication with you or try and get in touch with you to support you and make you feel more comfortable in bringing this project up here?
That's wonderful. If people would like to support us, there are 1 or 2 ways they can do this. One is obviously donations or becoming patrons of the cause.
Okay.
We would more than gladly accept financial contributions, only because we would like to keep this going, and we would like to facilitate art, and we would like to keep doing this for a long time. And if there are people who would like to volunteer their services to the Art Hub, that is also welcome, because there are a lot of logistical things we need to take care of. We still have to create a website, maintain it, probably take care of the promotions part of it. And there is, again, when an event is happening, there are so many things to do, to put together. So if...
I would like to add two more to the list. Another way you can help by providing resources or sponsoring resources. We are in constant need of resources like sound, light,
Exactly.
and even food, for that matter. Right? So that is one other way. And another thing is bringing in new ideas, bringing in artists, or if you are an artist yourself, come and perform. That is how you can, be a part of this family, and we hope to, grow together as a community.
Wonderful. That says it. Yeah. Is there anything else you would like to add or highlight about Nisarga Art Hub? Something which is stunning.
So, as the name Nisarga suggests, right? Nisarga means one's own nature or nature itself, or a naturalistic state. So let's all just enjoy nature, and cherish the true nature of art, and try to bring in the true nature of art. And let's try to bring in the artist within you. Right? Everybody has an artist inside.
Okay.
So art is beautiful.
Wonderful. बरसे बदरिया सावन की बरसे बदरिया सावन की मन भावन की बरसे बदरिया सावन की मन भावन की बरसे बदरिया सावन की मन भावन की बरसे बदरिया सावन की.
So this is what Nisarga Art Hub is all about. Taking inspirations from nature, taking inspiration from other artists. Art just flourishes here, and we'd love for all of you to come here, experience this space and the art that it provides along with us. We'd love for art students, art lovers, art enthusiasts, people to come here and be a part of our Nisarga Art Hub family.
See you soon.